welcome back to another episode of Hustle and Flow. Today I'm going to be talking to the wonderful guys that run Kill All Pain. So go ahead, who are you guys?
My name is Christos, aka Ron, and my social media is Christos9 with an X, not a C.
I'm going to spell it out because I wouldn't have guessed it.
Right.
So I got y'all.
Yeah, people never know. But I'm Cardo, and y'all can find me on social media at Money Pyramids and everything.
How long have you guys known each other?
5 years.
And can you tell us kind of the story behind how you met / came up with this idea?
Well, the idea came way later for this brand, but we met each other. It was funny. We met through another mutual friend. It was really ironic. We were in college at the time, and I was just looking for moves, and I hit the mutual friend up and asked him like what he was doing. He was like, "I'm going here, slide here." We didn't know each other at all, but he knew the mutual friend. And when I got there, first thing the nigga said was, "Oh, this nigga fresh as hell." And then we was cool ever since.
That was facts. The white man during college.
Hell yeah. That's college for y'all that don't know.
I got y'all. I'm putting up a picture.
You gotta acknowledge when people be fresh, bro. I hate when people do that. You ain't crazy, bro. Or, hey, I like those shoes. Hey.
A little compliment, something.
It's cool.
So when and how did the idea for the brand come up?
So we had two brands previously that didn't work out for different reasons. Reasons not important, we don't gotta talk about it. And then we got to this point, and this brand really just represents us both as people and like just what we have like gone through over the years and like overcame. It like encompasses that.
What have you guys learned about yourselves from like going through that whole process? I didn't know that there was two brands before.
And first of all, trial and error. Second of all, uncomfortable situations aren't something you need to avoid. Third, you just gotta produce. Like, I used this analogy the other day, and it's like, I'm pretty sure Steph Curry probably done shot 3 million free throws. And that's how you know he can shoot 95% from the free throw line, right? If you're only putting out one project every 3 months, when you change what you do and how you progress, it slows down because you're not putting out as much. As far as if you put up 12 projects in a year, you're going to improve on a lot more. And then next year, 2020 is going to be crazy.
Until you become a master, and you don't necessarily slow down your craft at that point, but you just release less because now yourself as a brand is worth more. So you can't just constantly feed the people like that.
Right. You gotta.
They gotta mean something.
Once it gets to a certain level, oversaturation is a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys think it's important to share your story with people? Or do you feel like it's more about just the clothing?
The story is more important than anything because that's what it's about. People relating, people being able to create their own art off of what we do. You know what I'm saying? Like, of course, we love clothes, and that's why we reverted to clothes. And we went to clothes to make it and produce our story. It's the reason we're not rappers. You know what I'm saying? But if we can inspire songs called Kill All Pain or movements like warming centers that are named after Kill All Pain, then we did our job.
And I think it's important because like a lot of the times like people will feel like it's not important just because they don't see who they're directly helping. Because a lot of people won't even speak on like when you said something or you've done something that really helped them out in life. That's just how people are by nature. But you probably help like a lot more people than you really realize if you're a person that really is vocal and tells your story.
Why did you guys want to be a part of this project? What does it mean to you to be a part of my little baby over here?
We just rocked with your vibe in general since the shoot. Really like arms open. Nice spirit, you feel me? So that's why I wanted to collab with you. I always like collabing with people who bring good energy.
That's the same thing. It's like when you know people got good energy, you know the potential is there. And you know what I'm saying? We both trying to do something and start up and grow. you gotta rock with people on the way up, and then if y'all actually can click and connect and make something like this,
Yes, I
why
love
not?
that. I hate that Chicago has become such a like crabs in a barrel like city, and I'm like, dang, there's so much talent here. There's so much talent, and it's crazy that it gets almost like watered down because nobody wants to help people. They want to
And niggas
put down.
don't, niggas don't be getting like, I'm sorry, can I say
Yeah,
nigga?
no, you're fine.
Alright, yeah. Niggas don't be getting that we can all make it.
There's enough room for everybody to eat, bro.
Like,
y'all ain't never
if
been
you
to the
think my
grocery store? We all got food to eat.
facts, if you think my shit raw and I think your shit raw, we can both make it. That's not unheard of. Especially out here, nigga. Like,
Man.
nobody's making it really out here. So if we both have raw shit and we both have an audience, we will both make something of ourselves. It's simple math.
It's facts. It's a couple things though. One, like, people don't feel like it's enough room for everybody, and that's weird. Like, I don't know why they don't feel like it's enough room for everybody. It's like we can all do something, support each other. It could be like a collective. It could be a
It could
Chicago
at least be a
thing.
friendly competition.
You know what I'm
It
saying?
doesn't have to be like,
and that could
you
be
know,
cool.
you
Like
and
that
those.
could inspire some fire shit. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna also say this though, because I'm not just going isolated to Chicago. Knowing other people from other cities, they say the same thing. So people just like stuff that's not from where they from because they didn't make it yet. That's a weird mindset,
Yeah.
but people gonna learn to grow out of that.
Even friendly competition, you know, like I'm wary of that as well. Niggas be low key like shady as hell. Like,
What challenges or struggles have you guys dealt with mental health wise that have helped you get where you are?
mine's, I'm gonna be totally honest with it because I'm fully past it. Like, but I was in like full blown depression, like literally like drinking and drugging myself fucking to death, really, bro. Like really just in a dark hole and pulled myself out of it. But it was wild. Like, it's kind of wild when you go through experiences like that because like I was in like a bad depression, and then like I would be literally saying stuff to where like you could tell like, and I would literally like want some help but not know how to get it. But I got myself out of it, thankfully, and it turned into something beautiful. One of the reasons I got myself out of it was starting this brand. So it's cool.
I feel like my experiences, they kind of span like a long period of time. Like the depression, my depression kind of hit me around the time I was graduating. I had lost somebody, and then it was just like everything else started to crumble. But I ended up building everything back up, so everything is good. But through college, you know, anxiety was bad. Anxiety was crazy. Like it was, because I wasn't like doing nothing. Like I was completely sober for like a long time, basically. Like a long time, and it was like, I don't know, it was a change because it was like I wasn't always, you know what I'm saying? So anxiety was crazy. And being around so many people and coming from where I'm from, and it's like, I don't know none of these people. It's like, this is a little overwhelming. But I learned to like grow into a lot of stuff too.
That message is, it does get better. It might be difficult to go through, but trust that there is a light at the end of that tunnel. Remember that.
Nah, facts. Rock bottom is real.
How do any of those experiences start to show up in your brand?
Oh man, the dog. I mean, I don't know if like everybody knows pretty much a dog's nature, but I'm gonna even simplify it more where the canine's nature is to never really give up. Like even if they getting like bit and they like dying, they still biting. You know what I'm saying? Like they never stop fighting ever. If you look at his shirt, it's a canine on there right now. And it's in the form of propaganda. Propaganda not always negative. It can be a positive message too.
And just to piggyback off of that, just all of our designs and visuals, like if you pay attention to them, like they really hold messages in every single thing. One of our campaigns, we literally made videos that are self-defense videos for women. but like we just added like our own little twist to it, and like we really do stuff like that with all our visuals. Like we make sure it has a point and that it represents us well, and then it also represents the brand as a whole.
Do you guys consider yourselves to be people that confront their mental health, or do you think it, or do you consider yourself to more, I don't know, be brought out of you? Like somebody has to ask you, like, "Oh, what's up, bro?" Like, if you moving a little different.
It's really growth. Like,
what does that look like for you?
Like me personally, emotions, like I will sit there and be in it. I'm not afraid of it. I think bro the same way. Like you gotta be in it.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can't just avoid it. It's gonna always come back because it's up here.
Yeah.
Once you in it and you completely understand where it come from, and then you go at that,
Mm-hmm.
you're good. You gotta be in it though. Like I live in my problems so that they really don't affect me. Like my attitude will be completely different out there.
I agree with that, like 100%. But just to add on to that, like I'd say more so for myself, like I'm in it and I feel it as well. But like I'll just say things sometimes and hope somebody like reach out to me. I don't like go asking for help and shit like that. Like this is probably the only nigga I've talked to about like shit that I really go through, like real life, like wild shit. But I don't really like look for people to help me, but like sometimes I'll say something to help somebody like reach out, or really just that.
How does your self-care look for you? Like, how do you bring yourselves out of those moments where, you know, you do have to live in it?
Really, it goes back to like our brand, like kill all pain and less murder Satan, and kill all pain, whatever demons you're dealing with, so to say, let's call them demons, like your hardships and trials and stuff like that. It really comes down to literally battling those. That's what the whole brand represents. Like once you kill a pain or you overcome a pain, then now you graduate. Now you are feeling better. Now you know how to tackle that situation if it tries to come back at you again. Like just different stuff like that.
I learned how to do that from talking to my bros, basically. Like my bro downstairs and right here, and a couple of my other bros, like, cause we all going through like hella shit. Like sometimes it be similar, sometimes it be like different, but it's like therapy sessions almost. Like we don't plan it, but we'll sit there and we'll probably be drinking or doing whatever, and we just, well, we don't gotta be doing that. We just talk, and then just out of nowhere we're gonna talking about like important shit, and we both get to talking about important shit. And it's like we both straight after the fact.
So black men, you can talk to your friends about your mental health, and it doesn't have to be weird.
I was actually gonna say, like, if somebody is your real friend, like their real friend, like true to the definition of friendship, then it's never gonna be weird or nothing like that.
Because you really rock with them. You care that much.
Yeah,
to
you
just
care.
Be like, I'm listening, because it's like,
even if you don't know how to help.
right, because as men, like, you know, like, well, as a man, I can say, like, we don't really like talking about stuff, but when you can talk to, like, your bro, and it's like, you finally, like, let that shit rock, it's like, man,
Thanks.
it makes sense.
That's one thing I would 100% suggest. Like, if you're in a circle and you feel like you can't talk to anybody about some real shit when some real shit happens, you might be in the wrong circle. Like, get around some people that really care about you and your well-being, for real.
What age were you guys introduced to mental health being like a concept in general? Like, was it a talked about thing when you were younger?
No. Really, like, never really. So, like, and I'm gonna explain that. The term has been coined for, like, mental health and stuff like that, and then we put a definition behind it and stuff like that. But, like, just as a growing black man, like we've never really had like a term behind it. It's just like we're going through shit, talk about it, blah blah blah. That's just how it went. But it definitely was mental health. That makes sense.
Yeah, no, everybody calls it the struggle.
Average person goes through a lot of stuff, but it's like some people that really don't go through a whole lot of stuff, they're not really empathetic. Then they don't really realize that other people are going through a lot of shit, and then those people themselves don't even realize that they're going through a lot of shit because they've been living the struggle for as long as they can remember. Like, it don't become a mental health issue, it's just like life. It's like, is this my mental health or this is literally just life? Like, when you start to look at it like, damn, like, all right, rainy days happen like 3 times a month, 4 times, 5 times a month. That's not normal. But like, it's become normalized. Like, it's the struggle. Like, people rap about it, sing about it, it's art about it. Like, it's a real thing, and it's not something that we all want to be in, but it's like, people glorify it. It's not cool. Like, if one of my little brothers go outside and he hear a gunshot, he won't flinch. It's not a good thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you should be afraid of shit like that.
A lot of like you getting better depends on if you can shift your mindset or whatever. Like people, because it's totally different worlds to this mental health. So it's like people that could be in another country, like some kids or whatever. Like they don't even have like no socks, but they got friends to play with, blah blah blah. Like they out here kicking soccer balls, happy. Like if somebody come around with a quarter, they happy, whatever. And then they don't even know, like they haven't even seen this type of world where we're going through real things. Like we really feel it. Like it's not discrediting it at all, but like we're going through things because we saw somebody else on the internet and our life is nothing like theirs and their life looks great, but you don't know what their life is really like at all. It's crazy.
Do you think it should be introduced, mental health should be introduced in schools, or should it be like a household conversation, or more to an individual? Like they do it whenever they deal with something.
On a broad scale, it should be introduced in school, but like talked about broadly. And then like more so within families, it should be a more personal thing. So like you should be shed the light of it in a school. So like, all right, let's talk about this to where everybody can have some type of relation to it, and then it break down once you get into the family. So then it's like, okay, now we can talk about this on a really personal level.
Kind of like, well, not that this was my mom and I's conversation, but kind of like how sex ed is. Like they'll give you information for the general, and then you got questions, you can either ask your teacher or you can go home and ask your people.
Exactly.
And where do you guys see yourselves in the next 5 years?
Just very successful men, and then just striving for creation in general. So it doesn't have to necessarily be stuck on one thing. Like, we'll probably still do that one thing and venture off and create more and more. Like as much as we get blessed to have in our lifetime, just keep creating. Like we creators to the core. And you can see that, like, if you just look at our page, it's not just about the clothes. Like, you can see, like, we really take time to think about and structure, like, what we want to put out. And then if we could do it in this platform, we could do it in many more. Yeah.
Oh, shit. It's like, you know what I'm saying, like, in 5 years, we really gonna be, it's not just gonna be about the clothes, like you said. Like, we eventually gonna have our own currency. I'm just gonna say that on wax right now.
You heard it here first.
We eventually gonna have our own currency, but it starts with this. I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna leave it right there, and then everything in between.
We'll see, right? We'll see. So you guys make sure to go ahead and check out both of their all 3 of the social medias. You gotta check out their pages individually, and then of course the Kill All Pain. Go shop right now. Right now. Stop the video. It's done. Go shop. Bye. Bye, babes.
But share them.
Make sure you share.